So yeah, so if I have a class on Friday, the chances are I'm going to wear gold, yellow, some bright color on Friday to make sure that, y'all understand. Let's get to the money. It's a money class. It's a money conversation, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm excited to have you guys here. This is our Jupiter in Taurus class. It's a very extremely important class because as y'all know, you've been here with me before. I tell y'all all the time, if you want to know how the money is going or how the money is coming in, you want to follow Jupiter, okay? Jupiter is the energy that brings luck, opportunity, as well as, Venus is the other part of it. Venus is also the energy that is responsible for money and foundation and stability and all those things. So we got these two coming together. If the big dog that do all the opportunity and all the luck is coming to join Venus, who also loves luxury, money, food, goodness of everything, what y'all think is happening? Goodness. Okay, so I know y'all probably went through a very turbulent Mercury retrograde. I'm sorry. Let me give you hugs and kisses now because of it. I know those lunar eclipses kicked all of our ass. Give y'all another hug and kiss for that too, okay? But all of that stuff was very important to what we're talking about today. It was very important to getting a lot of stuff out of the way. So when it comes down to how you're going to expand, how you're going to even see your opportunities, you must first see where your fears lie, okay? And how all that stuff was kind of getting in the way. So all of that, Mercury retrograde ended on the 15th. And then Taurus moved into, Jupiter moved into Taurus on the 16th. So the day after retrograde, we moved into this transit. So we're already in this transit. So today's conversation is us to always talk about, there go Candace. So today's conversation is to definitely go over the basics. So we're going to go over the basics of what does Taurus mean? What are the key words of Taurus? Hey, Candace. What's the key words of Taurus? What are the key words of Jupiter? How these two come together, right? That's our first initial conversation. So regardless of where these things exist in your chart, you have to start to memorize keywords. You need to know the keywords for Taurus, the keywords for Jupiter, the keywords for Aries, the keywords for Gemini. When you start to remember what the keywords are, it makes it easier for you to understand the vibrational that we're going through. Okay, so we're going to start off with the keywords and what Jupiter and Taurus means, and then we're going to go into the chart for today because today is also a new moon in Taurus. Okay, so we got the new moon in Taurus today, as well as this transit going on. So we're going to talk about those two things congruently. I'm going to talk about, the new moon first in Taurus, segueing into the Jupiter in Taurus energy, and then we're going to get into y'all chart, okay? Meaning like we're going to dig in real quick. So meaning like I want to know where your Taurus placements are. I definitely need to know like what houses your Taurus energy is in as well, because that's also going to determine how you're going to deal with this Jupiter and Taurus transit. Now, it went in on the 16th, but it's going to be with us until May 2024. So you have an entire year to work this. Okay, now I suggest you get on it now. All right, the quicker you get on it, the more the abundance starts to roll in. All right, so if you want to wait and stall on it, that's on you. That's on your blessing. I'm not telling you how to work your opportunities, but what I'm telling you is the sooner you start to work on it, the easier it's going to allow your vibration to get into the alignment of it so you can see where your benefits are. So we're going to get into your chart, and then we're going to finish up class talking about the nodes. Okay. South nodes and the north nodes. Now we know South node and the South node has been in Scorpio, and the North node has been in Taurus for the last 2 years, but that's changing now, right? So what happens when the nodes change? What's the importance of the nodes? What do they do when it comes down to our vibration, not just from a personal level, from a whole global level? What is this going to do to us as we're in the middle of experiencing some of the best, right? We got Jupiter and Taurus, but we also got these nodes that are shifting. So we're going to finish up with that. And if you guys have any questions, we're going to open up the floor. I want today to be a group conversation of sorts. So if you guys definitely have something that y'all want to talk about as it relates to the astrological things that's going on, even if y'all have some questions from our last two classes, if you got questions from the solar eclipse in Aries, you got questions from the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, you got any questions from the full moon in Scorpio, whatever you got that you want to talk about so that we can be in the mindset of understanding that the first things that we're working on, 6 months long. The next thing we're working on, a year. The third thing we're working on, 2 years. Okay, so those are going to be how we're going to get into everything. All right, so let's get in. Share my screen. All right. First thing first, let's talk about Taurus. The keywords of Taurus. All right. So all you Taurus birthday people, if we got any in here, happy birthday to you. You're on your way out though. You know, you got tomorrow. Tomorrow's your last day. So happy pre-birthday to all the Geminis. Okay. It's about to be crazy season. That's what I call Gemini season. It's about to be wherever you got Gemini going on, it's about to be 2 people season. Okay. But we're still in Taurus today. And because we are in Taurus today, this is what we are fixing our energy on. Let's focus on Taurus, okay? Taurus is an earth element. We know that the astrological times of it go from April 20th to May 20th. Sometimes that can shift depending on if there is a leap year or not. The quality of Taurus is a fixed sign, okay? The fixed signs are Taurus, the polar opposite to Taurus is Scorpio. That's a fixed sign. The other 2 fixed signs are Aquarius, okay, and its polar opposite, which is Leo. Okay, what do we mean when we say fixed? Just like it sounds. Sometimes it don't want to move. Sometimes it get real stubborn. It has an issue. Okay, it don't mean that it does not move. It does move, but sometimes it just has a couple issues. Okay, the ruling planet for Taurus is Venus. Again, today it's Venus Day, so no coincidence we're talking about this on the new moon in Taurus on the Venus Day of Friday. I've specifically designed to do our class on today for that reason. All right, the symbol of Taurus is the bull. Now, when we're talking about the keywords, let's talk about the positive keywords. So these are all the positive things that you're going to think about as it relates to your Taurus placements when we start talking about this energy, okay? The positives: dependable, loyal, patient, okay? Artistic, deeply loving, conservative, prudent, okay? Resourceful, attentive, stable, and secure. Some other words I'm going to add to that: foundation, okay? Money, values. All of these are the positive words that goes along with the Taurus vibration, okay? What do we mean when we say positive? When you are actively using your Taurus energy for the ways in which it should be used, you're on the positive scale, a positive side of your Taurus placements, okay? Now, when you are not actively using your Taurus placements, you are on the negative end of it, or what I like to say, you're living in your polar opposite energy. So when you are not using your Taurus placements correctly, you are more so leaning on your Scorpio placements. Why do I say Scorpio? Because Scorpio is the polar opposite to Taurus. So if you're not a Taurus, you being a Scorpio, okay? If you're not being a Scorpio, you being a Taurus. They coexist together, all right? So what are the negative energies that go along when we're not using Taurus, okay? Stubborn, lazy, don't want to move, okay? Pensive, self-indulgent, bashful, okay? Materialistic, possessive, all right? Insensitive, okay? Fixed, unmovable, okay? Don't want to listen, ain't gonna listen, gonna fight, argumentative, okay? All of that goes along with the negative sides of Taurus. Now, I don't believe in good or bad. I believe it just is. So meaning that if you find yourself on the negative end of these Taurus vibrations as you're working on yourself, it's not to be mad or not to say, oh my God, am I working in my, I'm doing wrong? No, you're this, you're a teeter-totter. So when you are more in balance, you're in the middle. You're not necessarily leaning on your positive or your negatives. You're coexisting, okay? But when you find yourself too much on one or the other, then this is how you shift this energy, by number one, recognizing what the keywords are, okay? Polar opposite or opposite sign of Taurus is Scorpio. So meaning if you was holding up a coin, if heads is tails, then, if heads is Taurus, then tails is Scorpio, Okay, this is what we mean when we say polar opposite. Every sign has a polar opposite energy. When we start to talk about these nodes and we talk about Aries and Libra, the north node and south nodes, the south nodes exist in the opposites. Okay, meaning that if you know what your north node is, you automatically know what your south node is because it's directly 6 placements away from that, or what we call polar opposite energy. So the polar opposite energy to Taurus and Scorpio. Another way to remember this is every month when we shift into the signs, the full moon, whatever we have in full moon, that is the polar opposite energy. So we're in the sun sign right now, Taurus. When we had the full moon last week, it was in the sign of what? Scorpio. We're now moving into Gemini. When we have our full moon in the Gemini season, that full moon energy is going to be Sagittarius. It is the polar opposite. These things never change. Okay, I don't care what's going on. It's going to always exist in this way because we're talking about polar opposite energy. All right. All right, so those are the key words of Taurus, the energy of Taurus. Taurus also rules the second house, okay? It's not on this thing, but when we're talking about second house, we're talking about all those things that we just said. We're talking about the values. We're talking about luxury, okay? So when we start talking about this Jupiter transit, this is a luxury transit. It's about the things that you value the most, the things that you're supposed to have. Keyword for Taurus, I have. Okay, so when you start to talk about the things that you have, you are talking about your Taurus energy. Okay, so when I ask you guys where your Taurus placements are, when we talk about second house, it's because Taurus is the ruler of the second house. All right, so let's go into it. Where is your Taurus placement? Tell me. Stop share real quick. Taurus placement. Do you have any planets in Taurus? If you have no planets in Taurus, let me know where you're, what house. Crystal say no Taurus. Second house in Leo. Okay. What house do you have Leo in? I mean, what house do you have Taurus in? Okay, Erica says she has Aries in the second house, Venus in Scorpio, the ninth house. Thank you. Okay, yes, you can also put your Venus in too. Why? Because Venus rules Taurus. You can put that in as well. All right, second house Taurus, Mars in Taurus. Yes, Taurus in the second. Yes, Taurus in the ninth with North Node. Perfect. Taurus and Mars. Or Mars and Taurus. Where did it skip off to? Okay, Taurus and Saturn and Taurus. Venus is in Aries. Okay. Capricorn in the second. Okay, Venus is in Sag. No planets, but 8th house is in Taurus. Venus is in Cancer. Okay, Venus is in Sag. Venus is in Cap. Okay. Jupiter is in Taurus in the 9th house. All right. So let's go through the houses, right? Let's go through where y'all have them in the houses. I saw nobody that said they was a Taurus first house. Nobody got Taurus in the first? Jupiter and Taurus in the 9th house. Okay. 11th house. Venus in the 4th. Chiron in 12th. Okay. So if Taurus is in the first house, so all the keywords we just said, now what you do is you take those keywords and then you apply them to the houses. Okay. The first house deals with the personality, right? So if you got Taurus in the first house, that means you have a luxury personality. You want to spend, you like to spend, you like to eat out, you like to do all the great things, okay? You like to live like you are looking like money, smelling like money, feeling like money, okay? And if you're not, that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be attracting the energy by making sure this is what you're looking like, okay? If you have Taurus in the second house, it is at home. Taurus in the second house deals with nothing but values, money. It deals with foundation. It deals with the home environment too, like how we decorate the home. It also deals with, you know, making sure that you are getting things done, okay? Even though sometimes it can drag its feet on that. When Taurus is definitely motivated and not fixed, it goes towards those things. So having second house or having the second house energy in Taurus is a direct hit. It's at home, okay? third house deals with the mindset, the intellectual conversations, right? So we're talking about now Taurus in the third house. Then we're talking about an intellectual conversation dealing with luxury, right? So a person who's always bringing up how to live more of a luxury lifestyle, or how to have more values, or how to live a little bit more lavish. So these are your people who are teaching us about finances, okay? Or the people who are teaching us about how to secure $1 million home, you know, or drive a Tesla, right? That's these people, the people that you follow on social media that, you know, is giving you all the advice on ways in which you can improve yourself, improve your luxury. It's all that energy. When we start to talk about it being in the fourth house, Taurus in the fourth house, Taurus in the fourth house has everything to do with family, right? Fourth house is family. Now we're talking about the values of that. So now we're talking about a person who values the family identity, or definitely identifies with, you know, having more so being at home, or having more of an affinity for being at home, or doing things at home, making money at home. It could be all these kind of things, value systems in the home, okay? We shift that energy to fifth house. Fifth house has everything to do with the stage. It's the Leo house. It is the being out and bright. So this is a person who is not only on the stage, but they're showing how to use this luxury lifestyle on the stage, okay? Hold on, gotta let somebody in. All right. Hey, Samaya. All right, now we're talking about somebody that Taurus is in the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of health. So we're talking about somebody who has to watch how they eat, right? Making sure that they are working out and doing all the things that they need to do. I'm gonna mute you, Samaya. How you doing, boo? But you know, a person who needs to make sure that, again, they're watching what they're eating, they're working out, they are, you know, in order to maintain the luxury and maintain the draw and all the values, they have to make sure they're taking care of their bodies too. Okay, so that's that energy there. Now we talk about moving into the seventh house energy. Hello. Yes, right where you have Taurus, where you also have Venus, and what you have in the second house. Okay. You have Taurus in the, what I said, seventh house, I think I'm on. Seventh house is the relationship house. So the relationship house is all about now how Taurus then take those values and share within their relationship and a union, okay? How they then want themselves to live in a relationship that does have values, that does have money, that does have a lot. Like, it's like, I got a relationship that I can flaunt, okay? And we're moving into the eighth house. Eighth house is the polar opposite energy, right, to Taurus. So now we're talking about someone who definitely will go through certain things when it comes down to being exposed in order to get to the luxury. So maybe sometimes they may be using somebody else's money, right? And they have to learn a value system of making sure that they're taking care of the money and the investments and the things that they are afforded when it comes down to the eighth house. Ninth house speaks of a person that sometimes can be fixed on the energy as it relates to education, okay? So Taurus sometimes would like to gather a lot of information before they feel worthy enough to teach or do those things, wherever the placement is. So when you got it in the ninth house, it's talk about a person who's constantly going back to school, always. I got to learn this and learn that, learn some more, before they feel like that they can expand. Taurus is in the 10th house, speaks of someone who needs to be disciplined, right? Or someone who can be disciplined when it comes down to acquiring luxury, having a job that makes them work a lot, but from that money, they are buying real estate or investing, doing a lot of investing. Having Taurus in the 11th house, when we're talking about the house of friendships, it speaks to a person who has a lot of friends, but a lot of friends who have luxury. A lot of people who they can call their friend, they be like, hey, we're going to be on the yacht this weekend. They be like, oh my God, I'm hanging out with my friends. Having friends that definitely have a lot of values or are working, doing the things they need to do, have the finances in place, stability in place, all those things. Taurus in the 12th house is one of those places where it is the most fixed, okay? It finds itself, knocking its head up and gets a lot of things, because the 12th house is where we have our addictions and where we find ourselves hung on a lot of things. So because Taurus already deals with that, having that in the 12th house can definitely signify someone who could be struggling or dealing with letting go of things, or find themselves having to get on along with things so that they can make sure that they are drawing in the luxury. So this is where they're going to learn, okay? So now, if we go into where y'all had the most things, right? I should have made y'all doing one by one, because now they're all scattered. All right. Let me start off with Okay, I'm gonna start off with Eric. Wait, Marcel, who's first? Okay, Crystal, I'm gonna start off with you. No Taurus, second house in Leo. So second house in the Leo energy. Wait, somebody else is typing. We can type it again, let us know. Yeah, I don't want y'all to have to go through that. But it is all jumping all over the place. Okay, Erica. I done went up too far. All right, second house in Leo. So we're talking about second house, right? That's ruled by Taurus energy. And we're talking about money, foundation, stability, and all those things, right? The foundations and the responsibility of that foundation. If you put Leo in that house, right? The Leo energy is the sun, right? It is the showing up, being playful, being creative. So now we're talking about somebody in the second house. If you want to work on drawing the money, especially in dealing with that energy, it's time to be more creative, right? Get creative. Allow your inner child to come out. Take on any of the things that you're being called to do when it comes down to people calling on you, especially to be seen or be out in public, to speak on things or anything such as that. It's time for you to get out, right? You don't want to hide whatever you got in the second house. But this Leo energy is going to be forcing you to come out more, you know? So using that Leo energy in the second house is being creative. So when you do get out, be ready that when you do come out, it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a, ooh, what you got going on or what you're doing. So being prepared, having your creativity on lock and being prepared for how that first transit is going to be when it comes down to you being seen. The more you are seen, the more you are out, the more money you draw. All right. Taurus in the fifth. So kind of similar to what I just said, Marcel, to her, but the only difference is because the fifth house is still Leo, and now we're talking about Taurus. So one is one way. So what she just said was second house with Leo, and yours is fifth house, right, with Taurus. So it's the same thing, same energy, just kind of switched around in the sense of in that particular house. You have to make sure that when you go out, especially in this next year, you want to make sure that you are looking as great as you want to feel. And you also need to make sure that you want to not just go run out, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you take some time to put into your appearance, because now since we are in this space of this Taurus energy and everything is about attraction, it's going to be based on how you feel and what you look like, right? So no just running out. I need to just run to the store real quick. Make sure that you are looking your best, feeling your best, because for the next year, you're going to be on the stage, right? Because you're in the fifth house in the Taurus dynamic. So all the Jupiter energy of Taurus is talking to you on the fifth house about being outside, but being outside looking like money. So similar to what Crystal got going on, but with Crystal, hers is the polar opposite, meaning that hers is that the fact that when she is out, she's also drawing that too. You know what I'm saying? So the same vibrations, just kind of mirror reflections to each other. All right, Aries in the second house, Venus in Scorpio in the ninth. So I must do the Aries in the second house. So Aries energy is always the pioneer. So when it comes down to you, value system, the money, the draw of everything, now we're talking about you being the pioneer. So when we talked about Aries last month, and I said, okay, well, Aries is where sometimes we suffer or where we feel like we need to have a support, right? So this is, you're going to have the support in this year, especially when it comes down to the Aries dynamic in the second house, but not if you don't have a vision. If you don't know what you're pioneering and what you want to create, then the support of that is not going to show up. So you just got to do a little work, a little pushing, because again, Aries is Mars. So you got Mars energy in that second house. So in order for you to draw the money through, you got to be very clear in the dynamic of what you are creating, what you are producing, and what you are pioneering. We're waiting on you. The world is waiting on you to tell us what you're producing. And from that, the finances will show up. Okay. And I'll come back to your Venus part. Second house in Taurus energy, kind of similar to what I just said, Drea. So, you know, and I think you and Leslie both have second house in Taurus, just perfect. So second house is ruled by Taurus energy. So the energy of second house is Taurus. The energy of second house Taurus is value system. What are your values? What are your foundations? What is your idea of luxury? Do you have those things? If you don't have all the things that you want as it relates to what you see as values and foundations, then that's what you need to be working on for this year, going towards those things, okay? It's going to be easy to acquire them. You just have to say it. A lot of things that goes along with the Taurus vibration sometimes is the fact that it wants it already done for them. Like, I want you to just do it for me, right? And you can have that. It can be done for you, but in order for that situation to happen, you gotta be able to say what that is. What is it that, what is your value system? And if it is your value system, you shouldn't have no qualms about saying what that is. Okay? You and Leslie got me, and I'll come back to your Mars and Taurus too. All right, Taurus in the 9th house with North Node. Okay, so North Node energy has everything to do with what you were supposed to be operating in this life. So I'm gonna start there with you, Alicia. Okay, Alicia or Alicia? Check me again.
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. Now, it has everything to do with what you're supposed to be in this life. What I mean is, I tell y'all all the time, throw your sun signs away for a while because we get too wrapped up in them. Everybody, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and this controller, it ain't doing nothing. All of that is trash, okay? But your North Node, if you want to satisfy the energy that you came here to do and to be the most, is 2 placements that you can ride inside of, and I promise you, you will have a happy life. Being more of your North Node and operating in discipline in your 10th house. Whatever you got in your 10th house, if you do more of what's in your 10th disciplinary wise, you're going to get everything. If you live in your North Node, you're going to get everything. Okay. Now, what you have in North Node in Taurus, you are already the money. Okay. You don't have it's not a money issue. Okay. A lot of it has to do with just you understanding how to operate in that, because your South Node, the polar opposite to Taurus, is Scorpio. So meaning that if you're not fully operating in that Taurus, you know what
you was telling me I'm in a class.
Oh. You okay? I'm gonna mute you, baby. It's okay. All right. Alicia, did you hear what I just said? Living in that Scorpio. Okay. What happens when we live in Scorpio?
That's my sun, and almost everything else is. I got a stellium in Scorpio.
So you're more comfortable with being in Scorpio energy, okay? South Node really also tells us what our past life is, okay? So past life, you're used to Scorpio. It's comfortable. You're not used to Taurus. You're not used to having so much attention and all the luxury and flashing and doing all these things. You want to hide, okay? But understand the more you hide, the less all the things that you came back here to get, you ain't gonna get them. Okay, you got to start being more Taurus. Okay, so if you got any Taurus friends around you, or if you don't have no Taurus people in your life, which you should, being a Scorpio, okay? But if you don't have none, you need to befriend some people on social media. Start watching the Taurus vibration so you can step into it, because stepping into it, it's going to get you everything. Staying riding in that Scorpio energy is going to keep you in the past, literally, okay? Now, the fact that it's in your 9th house also means your 9th house is the polar opposite energy. 9th house is ruled, well, no, the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, but the 9th house has everything to do with educational system, right? So if you've been thinking about going back to school, right, to improve this luxury lifestyle, if you've been thinking about, if you don't have a good practice of your spirituality and your physical self, I mean, like you don't have a daily practice that you're doing to keep your spirit high, you need to get on that too. That's also going to help you to tap in luxury. One of the things that I would advise you to do is have a daily money mantra. Every day when you wake up, baby, add the money to it. Let's get to the money. Okay. Let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. Every day, okay, to remind you that you're living in Taurus. And the more you live in Taurus, again, the easier it's going to be to attract the other things in. All right. All right, Candace, Taurus and Mars. All right, so Mars don't necessarily like dealing with Taurus. You done talked about this several times because Mars is Aries and Taurus is Venus. So we're talking about a squabble, a fight, right? But when it comes down to that, because Drea also has Mars and Taurus too, okay? It is not wanting to do nothing, okay? It is I throw it all away. I give up. Why can't it already be done? I miss my castle and I miss my staff. I miss my driver. I miss my hairstylist. I miss all the people that used to do all the
motherfucking facts.
Well, you and Candace share this, okay? And my child, my child who I've been talking on the phone to all day today, who's been getting on my nerves. Do you hear me?
Get somebody else to do it. That's my mantra. Get somebody else to do it.
But it's you, Candace, and my child that's gonna have to do it, okay? And what I mean is gonna have to do it is you're gonna have to start using the tools you already have. Get out of your own way. Stop telling yourself you need more. I need to go back to get more school. I need to go sit with this person. I need to go have a mentor. No, you don't. You already have it all. Application. Huh? What you say?
I said I feel so seen right now. Lord, let me go back to mute.
You understand? You already have everything that you need. Now it's time to boldly move into that. Okay. No questions asked. If you need more support, more education, then your gurus are going to show up. Mars and Taurus people, you already have access to all the gurus. You have the access to the people. Your thing is telling yourself, I'm stuck. That's the favorite words of people who have Mars and Taurus. I just feel so stuck. I just feel like I don't know what to do. No, change that. You don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. Okay. So the faster you get into your brain that you just don't want to do it, the easier it's going to be for you to tap out of that and say, you know what? I have to do it because I already have the resources that I need. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let Leslie back in. All right. Let's see. Okay, who else got? Okay, 8th house Taurus, Sherry. So 8th house is the house of transformation. Okay, so that means this whole vibration of bringing in the money, working on the money energy, has a lot to do with you not being afraid. We talked about this in our session. You not being afraid to do some things outside the box. Okay, so meaning that you may be used to or comfortable with certain things and certain aspects and the ways in which you have been acquiring money. And now it's time for you to do things that is a little bit risky. And what I mean risky means the occult stuff, right? So we talked about you and doing the candles, right? The aromatherapist. This energy can seem to be a little bit outputting for some people because, you know, that we start to working in magic, which since can be a form of magic, it can be one of those things that can make people, you know, kind of clam up a little bit. But when you start to say stuff like candles, right? They don't, you know, all the things go away. All the fears go away. So tapping deeper into that energy is going to be the ways in which you draw that vibration in. Okay. Now we're going to talk about these again when I bring the Jupiter part of it. All right. Venus, Jupiter in Taurus in the 9th house. Yes, Taju. So again, with Taurus in the 9th house. Okay. The fact that you have Jupiter in Taurus means this is going to be an extremely lucky year for you. Okay. So whatever you have been thinking about money-wise, doing, investing, purchasing land, you know what I'm saying, getting your credit together, you know, savings, whatever you've been thinking about over the last couple of years, this is going to be the year to apply those things and really tap into it. Okay. And the fact that it's in 9th house has everything to do with the fact of, like I was telling, forgot who I was talking to that I said it was in the 9th house, has everything to do with also your spiritual practice, okay? Meaning making sure that you have a good balance on that. You need to, you know, make sure that you are, if you don't have a good spiritual practice now of how you wake up, like if you're not doing no breath work, no tai chi, no mantras, no anything like that, you need to get into your chance, get into a way of expounding on that 9th house energy, which is all Jupiter. It's all, you got Jupiter in Taurus in the 9th. You can't lose. Let me have it. I'll tell you what, let's switch. You can have mine and let me have yours, and I'm gonna show you how to fuck to work it. You understand? Because that right there, you cannot lose. Okay. Because it's already adding up. All you have to do is literally move in the vibration. So like I think that was Alicia I was telling about having a money mantra in the morning. When you wake up, you need to have a money mantra. You need to be talking about money, have money singing through the house, having money sounds, okay? Rain and money, you know what I'm saying? Put on some, you know, I don't care. I don't care what you do. All I want you to do is be in the vibration for an entire year, that every day you wake up, money is looking for you, okay? You in particular, especially because you got the placements. So all you got to do is get in alignment to it, okay? All right.
Okay, thanks.
So you say 11th house, is that where Taurus is in the 11th house?
Who?
Not you, Taju.
Oh.
Alikia?
Yes.
Yes. Taurus in 11th. So Taurus in 11th house is friendships, okay? Being around money. If you don't have no money friends or friends with big bank, baby, you need more friends, okay? Playing it small. You need bigger friends, okay? What that means is I need you to start going out to places where you know money resides, okay? So go eat at places where money at. Go have you a drink at the bar where money at, okay? Go put yourself in the vibration of money and you ain't got to do nothing else. All you got to do is be in the space and it's going to find you, all right? But definitely expanding on your vibrational energy when it comes down to your 11th house dynamic. 11th house is the house of friendship. And it's also your philanthropist movements as well. So if you've been thinking about wanting to do something for the community, your community, or some type of outreach, you can do that. And the money is going to find you. Somebody is going to invest into that dynamic that you want to do. But you have to have the details together. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Chiron and the 12th. So you got Taurus and Chiron, Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay. So Chiron, Taurus, right? We know Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. So anytime we're talking about Chiron, we're talking about how you're going to heal your wounds. All right. 12th house is where you let go of all the past stuff, where you let it go. So your advancement, right, of this Taurus conversation, and again, we're going to apply this to how Jupiter comes into this conversation. It's about letting go. If you want more money, you want more advancement, you want more opportunity, you want more luck, you have to let go. Let go of what? Anything that you feel like that has hurt you or abandoned you, or any childhood issues that's been going on, or old relationship issues that's been going on, whatever has been a part of your story for more than 5 to 10 years, we need to delete it. It's no longer part of the story. Because if you keep telling it, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep getting in the way. And Chiron is lending itself to that placement. So Chiron, Taurus energy is saying, listen, I want you to live a life of luxury. But in order for you to live a life of luxury, you got to stop telling the old stories of why you don't have luxury already. Or getting in your head about why you think the energy is happening to you in one way or the other. Okay. Chiron is a very special placement, but it's one of the things that we have the most problems with. All of us have an issue with Chiron. We don't like Chiron, but Chiron is the how you heal the generations. So this part of your Chiron Taurus, you are one of the special people in your bloodline to make sure that after you, the bloodline don't have to suffer without having luxury anymore. You are the healer to the bloodline when it comes down to luxury. So this year for you, as you're working on your Taurus placements, is for you to be reminded of whenever you feel wounded or hurt or like something is stabbing at you, that's the thing that I mean that you have to let go of, because it ain't just yours. The entire bloodline has been suffering from this. So if that's money, if that's credit, if that's relationship, whatever it is, it's been getting in the way, values, whatever it is, you are the one that's going to change that. Okay. You're the game changer. All right. Second house in Virgo. 10th house Taurus. So 10th house Taurus, right? So I have this placement too. I'm excited about it too. So having 10th house Taurus means recognition. Okay. So you've been putting in the work, baby. It's time. It's time for the world to see you. Okay. Not just your little small circle, or not just the people who be like, oh, I remember when you was doing this. This is when the big wigs come out. This is where all the opportunity comes out and say, listen, you've been putting in the discipline and all the things you've been needing to put yourself in a different bracket. We see you. So we're going to put the blessings on there. So your opportunities of advancement is going to come through the 10th house, which has everything to do with social recognition and your social responsibility. Okay. Or what we say, what does the world see me as when it comes down to career? That's all 10th house stuff. So the Taurus energy of having the luxury, I can't wait. I'm really ready for my driver. I'm really ready for my shelf. I'm really ready for all the things that I had to operate in 9 or 10 jobs. I don't got to do none of that no more. Okay. It's being done for me. That's what a 10th house energy of Taurus looks like. Okay. Meaning that you're going to be doing the work, but you're going to have a team that's going to make sure that you get the work done. All right. All right. I think I went through all of that. Now I can go through the Venuses. Okay. Okay, damn, this year is giving major pressure in both of those areas for me. What tells our past life? What tells your past life is South Node and 12th house. Okay. So South Node is what tells your past life. So whatever you got in the North Node, your polar opposite energy to that, that's what tells what you was operating in mostly for your last life. All right. All right. Now, real quickly, I'm gonna get y'all to write this into again. Okay, I do have my chart on a different app because I seen Pakistan. You didn't, right? Okay, and you didn't recommend patterns. Okay, yes. So the other ones, as long as you have it for you to be able to see where your transits are, and that's the reason why I don't necessarily like the pattern app. I much rather like you to use like time pastures so you can screenshot your placements, or cafe astrology so you can screenshot your placements so you can see where they are, right? And that's what we need to see before you can get into the point of really understanding and applying astrology. You got to get familiar with where your transits are, where your placements are, and then you can start to segue into other things. Okay, so as soon as you can calculate it and pull it up, that would be great.
Are you supposed to have something in every house?
Well, not necessarily. You don't have to have everything in every place, but because we deal with whole signs, I'm going to automatically put them in there anyway. So whatever you got in the first house is going to automatically cascade. Okay. Now, when you start to look at Placidus calculation, sometimes a Placidus calculation can put two signs in the same things, which is still okay. It's just letting you know how close of work that you still have to do. But as long as you have what your rising sign is, you can pretty much flow into the other houses. Okay, so you may not have no planets in every house. No, you may have some empty houses that has no planets, but you still do have some energy that you have to work on in those houses. Okay. All right, Venus, y'all, put your Venuses in real quick. Again. Okay, Venus in Scorpio. So Venus is ruled by Taurus, right? So if Venus is ruled by Taurus and Erica has Venus in Scorpio, what does that mean? Real quick. That her Venus is polar opposite, right? It's polar opposite the sign that it rules. If Venus is the rule of Taurus and she has it in Scorpio, that means she has a mirror reflection aspect. She got Venus, which is Taurus, and Scorpio is there, right? So we're talking about it from a financial and a value perspective. Now we're talking about somebody who is focused on the values as it relates to the things that they may not have had in their lifetime, right? So meaning like some stuff that they may have missed in their childhood, because Scorpio also deals with the secrets, right? It deals with some lack sometimes, okay? So when we're talking about how Venus then comes into that Scorpio energy, it definitely talks about somebody who's going to have money, but maybe first off in the first quarter of their life or the first part of their life, they may not have. They may not have had money at first, okay? But the second part of their life, when they start to realize that Scorpio is also a sign that's ruled by Mars, it's about how you move, okay? And about how you use your sex energy. Scorpio rules the sex energy. So if you're using the sex energy properly, then that whole vibration of how the value system then comes in, it's lending itself to that space. Okay, so just because it's polar opposite don't mean that it's always friction. There's not always friction. Sometimes it's just you being able to see a different side. So if Venus is the light, then Scorpio is the darkness. So this is somebody who also, if they know how to lean into their darkness a lot more, they're going to draw the money. They're going to draw the value out. Okay. All right, Venus and Aries. Venus and Aries energy. Venus, just like Mars, don't necessarily like Taurus. Venus don't necessarily like Aries, okay? It ain't one of his favorite places. But we're talking about money here, right? So we're talking about Venus and we're talking about the Aries part. It's the same thing I've been saying about Aries. You can get what you need to get, but you can only get it if you're going to have the details together. You got to be able to shoot that thing off your head. Pioneer. This is my vision. This is what I see. Okay, as long as you see that, the value comes into that space. People show up to help and support that space. Okay, same with you, Drea. Venus in Aries, you, Taju, and Samaya all have Venus in Aries. Okay, so all three of y'all, Venus in Aries people. Now, we was talking about love and sex. This also talks about people who jump too fast. Jump too fast in relationships and sex stuff. Okay, but we not talking about that. We talking about money. Okay, so money-wise, Make sure you have your details together. Pioneer it. You need to know what it is that you're going after. If you know what you're going after, because you have to be able to start something, you are the leader of this. So as long as you can lead it, be clear at what you're leading, the detail is going to show up. Okay. The team is going to show up. You're going to have everything you need. Am I right, Samaya? Is your team showing up?
The team
Mine is.
What you said?
It's showing up. Why you act? We didn't fix the jumping. We didn't fix the sexing. We got the plan together, and the team is expeditiously on its way.
That's all I need to hear. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Drea, did you say yours is showing up too?
Yes, my team is definitely here.
Okay then. Taju?
Yeah, it's showing up. You're part of my team.
That's what I'm saying. See, you gotta know where your resources at. You gotta know who you got on staff. You gotta know who you work with. Okay.
Some of them stuck in traffic. Tell them to bring their ass.
It's okay. They ain't stuck in traffic. They getting there. They just gotta work out some other kinks first. That's all.
They stopped and got snacks.
There you go. We need snacks.
Yeah. Divine timing.
My team showed up and said, "Why the hell I ain't call them sooner?"
Exactly. That's that Mars and Taurus stuff right there. That's what that is.
Hold on, please. Because I'm reading. Can you tell me again about the Venus in Aries? Venus in 8th house.
I didn't talk about it in 8th house. I just talked about it just being in Venus itself. Right?
Okay. All right. Because I was reading it and I was confused. So can you say it again real quick?
So Venus energy in Aries, period. No matter what we're talking about, Aries is the pioneer. So in order for you to draw the money and the team that you need, right? You gotta know your leadership skills. You gotta be ready for your leadership skills. You gotta be willing to be very vocal and clear in what you're pioneering, what you're bringing first. So when the team shows up, not only are you able to tell them what you need, you're able to do it as well.
Okay.
So that's what that means about pioneering. You got to know what you're asking for. And the only way for you to know what you're asking for is for you first to make sure that you are doing it. You have to do the job. Okay.
All right.
And show them what you're talking about. All right. Venus and Sag energy, it could roll with that. It'll deal with that, right? Sagittarius is the Jupiter. Sagittarius is the expansion. So Venus like dealing with that. Venus and Jupiter, let's hang out. Let's do some things. But it definitely also still goes back. Anytime we're talking about 9th house or Sagittarius or Jupiter, we're definitely talking about you making sure that you got some mantras or some type of spiritual practice in place. Okay. So if we're talking about ways in which to attract this money more in dealing with Sagittarius, it's you not being afraid to go big. Go be in spaces that you've never been in before. Okay. Meaning like allow yourself to, go at it alone sometimes. Not being afraid to show up and say, you know what? I'm the biggest person in the room. I know it. And I'm here to show that. I'm here to show what I know. And being very clear about all the talents and the things that you can do, right? That's what's going to draw more in. If you're only saying, oh, well, I only do this. I just make scrubs and rubs, but not saying, bitch, I do bone readings. I do this and that. You know what I'm saying? I got all the oils, all the butters. I got all the smokes. What is it that you need? Whatever you need, I can get your life together. This is Venus in Sag, just being big. Ain't no need of you running and hiding either. That ocean ain't gonna save you, baby. Okay. So Venus, and in the 4th house, definitely home. So with you, Alicia, different than Leslie, right? Because Leslie didn't tell me what house hers is in, but yours been in the 4th house. Definitely got everything to do with self-care. Okay. So now we're talking about the ultimate, like a person who is almost got damn near a spa treatment ready for you. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody who can put hands on you and take all your pain away. You and Leslie, the lady that's next to you, okay? Y'all both got this. And y'all both got this problem. And y'all both got this issue running from this gift, okay? So you want to know somebody who's also running from it? She right there next to you. Right there. Here you go. These two, them two people, okay? So fourth house is energy. So meaning that I need y'all to be on top of your self-care. So that means I want to see y'all really promoting and talking about ways in which y'all have first healed yourself, your own self-care practices, and now how you can help other people by doing this too. So whether it be they're buying a tool from you or whether or not you're just walking them through the tools. Either way, it's still money. You just have to put it together. So if you don't want to send them a product, put a class together, okay? Or put a video together that you sell. If you don't want to be in front of people and talking to them at the same time you teaching, record the video and post it, okay? Sell the video. Do whatever you want, but your job is self-care practices, allowing people to see, especially for you, Alicia. For Leslie, what house is Venus and Sag in? In the 9th house? Right. So again, get yourself outside. Go out there. What are you doing? Why are you in the house? Get outside. Okay. Venus in Marcel, you got Venus in Sag too? And yours in what house?
The 1st and the 12th.
I'm gonna skip over you because I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to you or Leslie no more. Okay. But neither one of y'all are gonna get my attention. Y'all can talk to each other about that.
Wait, hold up. How you gonna skip over me?
Do I need to?
How does that work?
Do you want me to address you?
Oh, I mean, shit. You call her out every damn session. Call me out. Come on.
Well, first of all, it's in your 12th house and your house of past life and karma energy. Okay, so you struggling with this. You got it tied to your feet, and because it is tied to your feet, you're not moving as you need to move. You and Leslie are both stuck in the house. Okay, you need to come out. And part of coming out is also letting go of a lot of the past stuff that has allowed you to feel like you are stuck. It's in the 1st house as well. So it's lending itself. It's like disconnect and go forward. Come out. Allow the world to see you so you can show up in a bigger way. You know what I'm saying? Your doggone Cash App is big wood. Why? Why you putting big on stuff? You're putting big on stuff because your energy is literally, the vibration of money that you draw is literally big. But you have to
First of all, correction, it's money wood, not big wood. It's money wood. Get it right. Thank you.
Same thing.
Listen, tell them again, Dre.
Quiet, Dre. Quiet. Say quiet, Dre.
Same damn thing.
Same.
Tomato.
That's all I'm saying.
Same thing.
So let it go. 12th house is definitely, again, disconnecting, detaching. It also has a lot to do with, again, past life karma stuff. So a lot of this Sag energy or you being big in another life, I don't know why you feel like you want to shrink this life, but it's not going to work. Okay? Goodbye.
Heard.
All right. Venus in Cancer in the 4th. Okay. Venus energy, you already know what it is, in Cancer energy in the 4th house. So there's a lot of healing of yourself, right? Putting yourself first, not taking care of everybody else outside of yourself and thinking that you're going to do it the other way around. It's not going to work that way. You got to be able to put yourself first, okay? And through putting yourself first, that's going to lend you more energy to do everything else, all right? Erica, you said, I'm intense. You intense? What you mean you intense? What you talking about over there, Erica? All right, Venus and Aries. So did you hear me, Jamaica? What I said about Venus and Aries? All these Venus and Aries?
Yes.
Is your team showing up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I want to know. Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn is one of my favorite crystals because Venus, even though she don't necessarily, she think Capricorn could be a little harsh. She likes Capricorn because Capricorn is money. Okay. So that Venus energy and dealing with the Capricorn dynamic is, again, allowing yourself to understand that in order for you to bring the money in, it definitely has to be a way of working and disciplining those things. But you also want to make sure that you're not overworking. Okay. Capricorn is the CEO. Capricorn is the boss. And because Capricorn is the boss, you have to get more comfortable with realizing that most of your finances and your money is not going to come from people or jobs. It's going to come from spirit. But it's only going to do that when you decide to be the boss. When you decide to be the CEO and do all the things you know you need to do, this is when now Venus can come in to aid you in that way. But as long as you want to be a workaholic or overwork or feel like overworking to take care of everybody, your family and stuff is what you feel like you must do, it's not going to work out that way. Okay. Taurus rules Venus, you said. Yes, I did say that. Or Venus rules Taurus. Either way. Okay. Venus is the planet. The planets are the rulers. Okay. So the planets are the only thing that can rule. All right. Now we talk about houses. We talk about people that govern the houses. So Taurus governs the second house, but Venus is the ruler of Taurus. All right. Venus and Sag. Candace, did you hear me talk about Venus and Sag?
I absolutely did.
I know you did.
And that's why I was quiet.
You're a good listener now. That's one thing I
That's
tell you.
exactly what I was doing.
All right.
Yeah.
And ninth house. Oops. I ain't dealing with you. I'm a jumper. I bet you are. We fixed that. Yeah, we did. We fixing it. Okay, still fixing. We're still working on the fixing. Okay. All right, because my Venus is, yes, Venus in Scorpio does make you intense, okay? But it also makes people want to give you money all the time, okay? They're like, ooh, she wants my money. Let me give it to her. What she gonna do for it, though? What you gonna do with this money? What you about to do with it? Where you about to go with it? So it definitely draws in money, okay? That's why I'm intense. I want to be a planet. Samaya. I want to rule everything. I bet you do. Damn, we still working on it. That's why. Yeah, that's okay. You still working on it. You may ain't seen no peen yet, but the peen is on the way. The eggplant is coming, is dropping through the ceiling. Okay, so we got to make sure before too many of them drop that you know how to swat them, get them out of the way. Because if they start confessing, and this is back to all you Venus and Aries people, if they start confessing too much how much they love you and like you and that kind of stuff, you would jump right on over there because y'all like when people like y'all. Y'all, that's y'all number one thing. When people like y'all, oh, that's good. Say no to the peen. Yeah. Now you have to say no to it, not to all the peens, just the wrong ones. Okay. All right, let's jump into Jupiter. Let's talk about Jupiter, and then I want y'all to see how those things apply, right? All right, Jupiter. Go back to sharing my screen. Why you won't?
Gigi, can I ask a question?
Yep.
Why did I not, when you asked me about Venus and Aries, I would have listened to what was on the app, Venus in the 8th house. I would have listened to that. Why did I ignore that? And then the other thing you're saying, I have a second question about how you just asked us about our team. But my North Node, and I meant to ask you about my North Node because this is where I failed, because the North Node says I need to start relying on myself and stop looking for, I have in the past always tried to partner up with people, and I probably should have linked on myself. So how do I?
Agreed. But let me tell you what it's saying to you, right? Your way of linking up with people is trying to work with people side by side. So for example, you want to design shoes and you run into somebody else who want to design shoes. You're like, oh man, we could do this together, right? So now you want to sit down with them side by side and you want to, what do you think about this? What do you think about this group on the shoe? What do you think about this on the shoe? No, that's not how Venus and Aries works. Venus and Aries works is, hey, listen, I'm a shoe designer. This is the shoe that I'm creating. This is how I want it to look. What do you do as a shoe designer? What part do you hold in this? Are you a person who make the laces? Are you the person that make the bottom? What part do you make? See, the issue with most Venus and Aries people, or Aries, no matter where it shows up, is wanting to partnership side by side. But Aries is about I am. It is the first. It is the pioneer. It's the leader. So because it is the leader, you have to lead the team. You can't say, oh, okay, well, what do y'all want to do? And we're going to all do it together. You're going to lose every time because they don't want to do that. They don't see your vision. They don't have that scale like you have. So your job is to show. And the only way you can show it is if you have a completed idea of what that looks like.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Y'all see this on the screen? Y'all see Jupiter? Y'all see now, Jupiter, number one word, good fortune. So welcome to your good fortune. No matter where your placements are, welcome to your year of good fortune. Okay, now wherever Taurus energy is and wherever the Jupiter energy is, it's going to apply good fortune in that area. But understand that across the board, you are living in a time of good fortune. And you need to be excited about that. So I don't care where the state of your finances are today, it won't look this way from between now and the next year, especially if you apply yourself. Okay, Jupiter is the largest planet representing expansion, abundance, and prosperity. Okay, it represents how you gain wisdom based on education, travel, study, and how you assimilate to life experiences. It rules the higher learning. That's why in the ninth house, whenever we talk about the ninth house dynamic, we're like, oh, you can go back to school, or you can learn things, you can apply yourself more, right? So that energy of thinking about Jupiter, no matter where it is like, this is a higher learning time. This is also how you can increase your spiritual practices and get more in tune when it comes down to that, okay? It rules higher learning, the philosophic reasoning, long distance travel, religion, morality, leisure time, optimism, indulgence. Jupiter is associated with luck, good fortune, and prosperity. I'm going to say it again. Jupiter is associated with luck, good fortune, and prosperity. The placement of Jupiter in your chart indicates where you have good luck and how you like to spend your leisure time. Jupiter is ruled by Jupiter rules Sagittarius and also used to rule Pisces, okay? And the 9th house and the 12th house perspectives, the 10th house and the 11th house, okay? So understand that this energy that we're dealing with, I only want y'all to focus on the very first word, good fortune, okay? You want to focus on some other words, expansion, travel, okay? So you're going to travel more in this year than you probably have traveled in the last couple of years, okay? So be thinking about where you want to travel, where you want to go. Where are some places that you can go that's going to expound and expand your consciousness as it relates to education or whatever you feel like you need to learn? Where is that for you? Where is that place? Okay, because whatever that is, it needs to be on your vision board, on your digital board, wherever it is that you're getting your details together, this needs to be there, okay? Now, depending on where your energy is, so now first, I want y'all to tell me what you have in Jupiter. What is your Jupiter sign? All right. Jupiter in Virgo in the 7th house. All right. So Jupiter in Virgo. Now, we just said what Jupiter was, right? Look, expansion, travel, higher learning, abundance, all the good things, right? And now for Erica, we're talking about Jupiter in Virgo. What is Virgo? Virgo is an energy of working with people, right? Virgo is also the house of health, dealing with the body, right? It's also dealing with the energy of communication. Why? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So we're talking about, number one, just Erica's Jupiter energy, right? Not talking about how Jupiter and Taurus is going to segue, just her Jupiter energy. We're talking about somebody who expands when she is working with someone. We're talking about somebody who expands or is lucky or has abundance when she spends time making sure she's watching her body. What do I mean watching her body? If she's doing physical fitness, okay? Why physical fitness? That's what Virgo rules. Virgo rules the physical fitness. It rules the house. So when you go to the gym and work out, I guarantee you most of the people in the gym are either Virgos or have a lot of Virgo placements. I wanted to bet all my money on that. All of it, okay? Why? Because that's the natural energy. Virgo energy has a lot of excess energy too. And the gym or walking or being in nature, all this tends to lend itself to that. So her expansion is whenever she's watching these things, when she's taking care of herself, taking care of her body, when she is working with other people, okay? When she is allowing herself to communicate clearly. Why? Again, the Mercury dynamic. But it's in the 7th house. What is the 7th house? Relationship. So now we're talking about somebody who has to apply those things we just said, When instead of working with people, she has to now work within the relationship. So she expands or can have more abundance when she learns how to work within the dynamics of the 7th house relationship. And when I mean relationship, I'm not just talking about romantic ones. I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about every relationship she has. She has to work a little bit more on them than maybe normal people do. But when she does, and don't judge, why I say don't judge, because Virgo is one of the most judgmental places ever. No matter what you got in Virgo, what you judge, okay? So if you got it in your moon, your Venus, your Mercury, wherever it is, you can tend to be judgmental, which causes you to overthink and have anxiety. You overreacting. All of that is Virgo stuff, okay? So her having this energy, now we're talking about relationships. She tends to maybe judge or overreact, right? But as long as she's working on this, literally, to work on it means to have abundance. To work on it means to expand. To work on it means she's going to draw more in, okay? That's just the Jupiter and Virgo dynamic. Jupiter and Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, money. Capricorn, work. Capricorn, CEO and the boss. As long as you are admitting to yourself that you are the boss, that you know how to work this thing and start to put more into your business and your brand than you try to put into your family. And when I say try to put into your family, because the Capricorn energy always burns itself out on family. It's the one thing that it likes to put everything into and realize, wait a minute, I'm not doing something. When we're talking about Capricorn, you got two choices. Either you're going to be the trophy wife, either you're going to be Michelle Obama, or you're going to be Michelle Obama if she wasn't with Barack. Because if she wasn't with Barack, when I tell you she would be doing everything, okay, the boss. She is a boss. Now, you can decide either of those ways, but know that, again, being the boss brings you more reward. Okay, so your Jupiter energy is saying she's the boss. I'm going to lend the abundance to the boss when the boss decides that that's what she's going to put her energy into. Okay. Jupiter in Virgo, 2nd house. Okay. Jupiter in Virgo. Didn't I just say book big? Oh, so you heard me what I said to Erica. Did you not? Samai? That's crazy.
Yeah, I did. Mine was just in a different house.
In life, in the bad parts of me, and I accept myself. Wait, Jupiter in Virgo, 2nd house. That's crazy. Couture, be Abigail, all Virgos in life, and bad parts of me. Yes, exactly. So you are learning to work. One of the biggest things that you're learning to work with this Jupiter energy is working with Virgos, and you have your team is stacked with them. Okay, you got so many Virgos and doggone Geminis and around. It is crazy. You got number mercurial energy around you. You know what I'm saying?
And Taurus.
Also, you're healing from it. You're healing from that dynamic. So as long as you continue to work to heal through that, and how you work with the Virgo dynamic versus judging it and just like disconnecting yourself from it, the more you're going to expand. And I've watched that happen myself. Okay. Jupiter in Capricorn. Alicia, I just said that for Drea. So that's the same for you. Is making sure that you're recognizing that you are the boss. Okay. Either you're going to be Michelle with or without Barack. Which one? Okay. So I advise you, regardless if y'all in a relationship or not, because this ain't really got to do with whether or not you're in a relationship. It has everything to do with the fact that you recognizing that you are a boss and that you are the CEO and that your job is to be able to move fluidly through that. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be working from home or whether that be working in an office, it doesn't matter. You're still the boss. Okay. So the more you try to go and work with other people, it ain't going to work. That's my last part. Trying to work for other people don't work for you. Why? Because everybody in the office know that you're a boss too, and they don't want you around, but you keep trying it. You keep trying to go back to work for people. They're like, you don't belong here. Sorry, we're going to kick you out again. You think, yeah, you did something. You just don't realize. You don't realize what you're doing. Okay. So that energy of it being in the 5th house means you're supposed to be on stage. So not only are you supposed to be being the boss, you're supposed to be teaching and educating other bosses. Doing the job, doing the work. This is where y'all money gonna come from. Y'all want the money, here it is. It's got a little work to it, but it's the things that's gonna make you light up. It's the thing that's going to bring you ease. It may seem like it's a lot at first. It's something else Samaya can attest to, because she always feel like I got work for her. Like, is it more work? Is it more? Yes, but you got to do that first work up front, right? But after you do it, it becomes easier. The flow, the things that you need to come in comes in so easy once you realize that you got to do this up front. Okay. Libra and Jupiter, or Jupiter and Libra. So again, the balancing of the expansion of relationships. You expand through relationships, but the Libra part of it is making sure that you're not doing more for others than you do for yourself. And then realizing why you're not getting those things back in return. Okay. So your expansion is through relationships and partnerships and building those, but with healthy boundaries. Okay. Jupiter and Virgo. Marcia, did you hear what I just said about Jupiter and Virgo? Okay, great. Virgo.
We always talking about Virgo. Keep going.
Yes, we got a whole course for all the
Well,
Virgo people.
Always,
We got
yes,
a Virgo
always.
challenge every year. Okay. Sherry, you already know Virgo in the 12th house is where you're learning from, right? You're learning how to, work, not panic, not have anxiety, not overthink, not overprocess. You're learning how to just do what you need to do for you in your physical form and let the rest take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that Virgo energy, if I'm correct, you got Virgo in the 12th and you got Libra in the 1st, right, Sherry? All right. Jamaica, yours, Jupiter, Virgo in the 2nd. So I got Jupiter in the 2nd, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful placement, but it does mean that we're not going to win the lottery and sit down. So if you thought you was going to win the lottery and don't have no more work to do, no, not us, okay? But it does mean that you'll be doing something in life that makes you happy, and you should be leaning towards that. So instead of just having a career that's bringing you, because the 2nd house of Virgo literally means that we make our money by working with people, you know what I'm saying, in one way or the other. So you have to make sure that you're working with people is something that makes you happy. So in whatever form that is. Mine is astrology. I love doing this. Not only has it changed my life, but I get to watch how it changed other people's lives, right? So this is a day-by-day thing that's allowing me to not only be happy, but it's also allowing me to sustain my lifestyle and take care of my daughter and take care of my family. So for you, it's the same thing. It's recognizing that Virgo, that 2nd house, Virgo and Virgo in the 2nd house energy is going to always render you work, but the work that you want to do. Okay. Are you currently doing what you want to do?
Yes.
Period. So now the rest of it is just letting Jupiter do its thing. Okay. Continue to expound, continue to expand. Again, we also have to be mindful of judgment. Wherever you got Virgos, well, we can be judgmental. So be mindful of the people that you're working with. Don't, in your head, you may be like, upstairs, they right. Just don't say it out loud, okay? Just work with it. Trust me, work through it and work with it, and it's going to be bountiful. It's going to be so much abundance that comes out of it, okay?
Okay.
Virgo in the 12, share. I just said that. Make sure, again, you work within the dynamics, letting go so that it lends itself to your 1st house, because the more you let go of judgment, anxiety, stress, not doing what you need to do for you, the more it's going to segue and give the energy to the 1st house, which is what you have in Libra. Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter in Aquarius is the future. Okay. So meaning that in order for you to expand and work on the expansion part of you, it's got to be on the future. So you need to be studying ahead, right? What are the modalities and the things that we need as a community and as a group to advance us, okay? So you already know, you already working in the confines of plant medicine. Now, even though the plant medicine is not technically the future, it is. It's the future because we're moving and segueing out of pharmaceuticals and moving out of what we may call Western traditional medicine, and we're getting back into the kitchen, okay? Or getting back into our magic and all the resources that we've used to heal ourselves. So because that's the case, you're on the wave of that. So you can't be afraid to continue to put yourself in spaces where you're talking about things that are very futuristic or may make people feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's your job. Your job is to allow that to be part of your conversation so that it expands your territory and expands the territory of all the people that are around you. All right. So yes, Jupiter in Taurus. Okay, now let's just talk about it. And then y'all can apply. Since Taju happens to have the golden placement of our class tonight, let's put him in the hot seat, okay? Jupiter in Taurus. Now, we just looked at what Jupiter was, right? And we looked at earlier what Taurus placements are. So if we combine the energy of Taurus, right, which has everything to do with, again, the value system, the foundations, the money, the, you know what I'm saying, the luxury, all of that. So we're combining that, putting that together with Jupiter. Now we're looking at somebody who is completely lucky when it comes down to how they draw in things, okay? So meaning all he literally has to do is show up as if he's the prince of, what is it? Coming to America.
Zamunda.
Yes, King Joffrey Jofer. Okay. This is you, okay? And it's all of us. So Taju has a direct placement, but y'all have it all too, just in different places, okay? For him, it's literally him showing up at this time period where all he literally has to do is be ready, say what he wants, show up in those spaces, and that energy comes through. When it comes down for us, it's the exact same thing, just being able to be in different places, okay? So when we're talking about just the abundance part of this, because we're also talking about Taurus and we're talking about the grounded energy of it, we're not just talking about dreams or make-believe. We're talking about the physical action of abundance, okay? The physical action of wealth and luxury, okay? And material blessings and financial assets, okay? And sensual pleasure, because Taurus also deals with sensuality too, okay? So all this stuff that we're talking about, it's just getting us ready for the good things that are coming through in this next year, okay? So, of course, along with this, too, can also breed the energy of laziness or feeling like you know what you need to do, but feel like you don't really kind of want to do it. Well, why is that? Because, again, Taurus wants somebody else to do it. Just give me the benefits, but I don't want to have to really do nothing, okay? But, again, in order for you to be luxury or luxurious, and to be the king or the prince or the princess, you have to wear the regala, okay? So I need y'all to wear the regala. I need you to look great. For this next year, get your wardrobe together. You know what I'm saying? Throw out anything that has holes in it. I shouldn't have to tell y'all this. But I'm talking to me too, babies, okay? You got some t-shirts and some drawers and some stuff that got holes in them. Throw them away, okay? For this next year, I want you in your luxury, okay? If King Joffrey Jofer or whatever, the queen, why, if she wouldn't wear it, you shouldn't be wearing it either, okay? Throw it away. I understand it's comfortable. When we start to get to Jupiter and Cancer, I will let y'all wear all the things with the holes in it that you want, okay? Because that is going to be about comfort. Unfortunately, we are not in comfortable space right now. We are in spaces of living lavish. And sometimes living lavish means you got some shoes on your feet that may be a little too tight, but they Dior though. They Christian Dior shoes. You know what I'm saying? They the best of the best. So it don't matter. Throw the things away and get into your luxurious life, okay? Taju is a representation of that. So everybody need to go and make sure that you friend Taju, okay, on social media, so we can watch him how he blows up in this next year and be like, oh my God, this is the placement that I have too, right? In whatever space it is. For mine is in the 10th house. When I ask you where your Taurus houses was or where you had Tauruses, this is exactly where Jupiter is going to directly blow up for you. All right. So again, only put what house Taurus is in. Only the house. Don't give me nothing but the house. What y'all over here talking about? Let's see. Bruh, it's always gonna do this again. I need to touch my hand or something. Okay, that Midas touch. Ninth house. So ninth house, we know that's the house of Jupiter, right, Alicia? We know that is going to blow up your opportunity. So traveling, so luck, okay? If you enter the lottery, you do scratch offs, every now and then, they go get you a little scratch off, okay? That'll happen for you, all right? Now, it ain't going to happen for me and Jomika because we got in the second house and unfortunately, lottery don't work for us, okay? The universe don't want us to sit down that way. But for you, baby, especially with that Scorpio Taurus energy, you can do it, okay? So that's yours in the ninth. Oh, yours in the ninth house too? All right, ninth house, same way for you, Taju, what I just said. All right, Samaya, 10th house. So expect TV to call. Expect, more podcasts. Expect more exposure. Expect more money to come from your content house, right? Expect more bookings. Expect to be booked up. You don't have any space. So you're going to be booked and busy all the time, all right? Especially because it's in the 10th house. All right, let's see. 12th house, Jamaica, expect that 12th house energy of letting go and departing of old things that's been in the way. Expect you to feel freer. Expect like whatever has been holding you back and you feel like it's been getting in the way, that this next year, that's going to be completely gone, okay? It's going to alleviate all of that. Ninth house, again, Taji, what I just said, that ninth house is that Jupiter house, okay? Go play you lottery a little bit. You go do whatever you want, okay? We're going to all be in your bag. We're going to all be over your house.
It's like that?
For the next year, we're going to be at your house, okay? So give us all keys. You
down.
got a room full of women plus Marcel. So it's going to be you two, y'all two men with all the women, but we're going to be at your house, okay?
It's so good.
All right, second house, Drea, this is foundation. This is, whatever you need this to be. This is getting out of your own way and making sure that you are talking about the skills that you have learned. The more you talk about them, the more it's going to bring even more opportunities, okay? The second house loves Taurus there. So Jupiter's going to love bouncing around in that second house. You got similar energy to Taju a little bit. Taju just got his perfect alignment. Yours is, I can smell what's over there. It's some food in that house. I'm gonna go eat, okay? That's yours. All right, 8th house, clearance. 8th house is the Scorpio house. So again, everybody who had that energy in the 8th, this is also allowing you to see that you doing some different things, right? Bringing in some new tools, uncovering things. This is also, 8th house is also Scorpio-ruled, and Scorpio rules other people's money. So this means other people's money. Somebody want to give you money. And Sherry, we just got to talk about that. You got a phone call, somebody saying, hey, I want to give you some money. Are you going to take it or not? Okay, that's 8th house energy. 11th house, again, is the house of friends, having that energy of friends, right? Having people around you that have money that can seed into the things that you want. So there's going to be a benefit of Jupiter coming in saying, I'm going to enrich your 11th house. I'm going to enrich your future and enrich your circle. All right, 5th house, Marcel, get on the stage. It's time for you to be seen even more, okay? Get bigger. No Taurus placements, but what you got, did I just say what you have? Hold on, Eric. I started off with you. Did I not? What is your rising sign, Erica? Give it to me again. All right, second house.
It's Aquarius. It's Aquarius.
Aquarius is your rising. So that means Taurus is going to be in your, is it 8th or 9th house? My pen it. Okay, I'll do it here. So Aquarius rising. So that is Capricorn and 12. Let me go forward first. Pisces. And then Aries, Taurus, and the 4th. So yours is in family. So in that 4th house dynamic, you definitely want to get a boost to that. So do you have any children?
No, I don't have children.
Are you trying to have babies?
No, I'm not active. I'm waiting till I meet my person.
Okay, so you're not sexually active right now either?
No, I barely had sex the past 2 years.
Okay. All right. So, because I was gonna say, because this could be when a baby will slip in there. This could be a baby slip zone. You know what I'm saying? Especially having that Taurus energy and that Jupiter Taurus energy is going to benefit that fourth house. So whatever's in the fourth house that you need to work on, to bring through, or whatever, is definitely going to benefit there. You know what I'm saying? But fourth house too is also another placement where we are bosses, right? So meaning that on the Capricorn side, we are CEOs, and Cancer likes to use the money of Capricorn. So in the fourth house dynamic, which is where it switches off, that whole vibration also has a lot to do with that energy, meaning that this is also about you and you stepping more into your healthcare practices as well. The ways in which you may offer things, okay, or allowing people to get into their self-care as well. So a lot of things are going to open up for you too, money-wise, as it is how you want to make their money, right? So however you want to make the money, and this is going to be multiple streams of income. So it's not just one, it's multiple of them, right? So whatever is calling out to you now, put in your time energy into that. Okay. Leslie, second house. Second house in Taurus energy. So we talked about that
already.
Huh?
You did it already.
Okay, good. Taju, I need you to touch my hand. Da, 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 da. Okay, great. I went over everybody. Okay, so got that wrapped up. So understand that what you're going to study is spend a lot of time studying your Taurus placement where it is. Okay, so meaning that whatever your you have in Venus, study that Venus too. Study your Venus energy, study the second house energy as well, but also study what house that you have in it. Count it down in your whole sign. So wherever your rising sign energy is, you can literally count into wherever your Taurus placement is. Okay, because they're all fall in order. Aquarius, Aries, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, right? Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. You can literally count into it. Whatever you have in that Taurus placement in that particular house, study it. Study it for the next year. Every time you feel like you want money or money is flowing, you want it to flow in a little bit more, go and study where your Taurus energy is. Go and study your Jupiter. Look at your Jupiter, because the Jupiter is already showing you how you are currently expanding already. But if you go and study that and then study Jupiter in Taurus, literally typing that out, Jupiter in Taurus, then it's going to give you the foundation as well of how to work it for the entire year. But this is a really lucky placement. All of y'all bank accounts should be increased, okay? All of your opportunities should be increased. Everything that you've been working on or been wanting to work on or wanting to see come full circle is now, right now, okay? That's just the money part. Now let's get into the relationship part, and then we're going to end out, okay? The relationship part has everything to do with the axis, okay, or the nodes. When we're talking about nodes, we are literally talking about destiny, okay? North node has everything to do with what you should be looking into now, okay? South node is where we came from. So because we're talking about this on a global scale, right? Oh, let me close this out. Oh, that's super small. Because we're talking about this on a global scale, right? We're also talking about how the world is going to shift as well. What is the world shifting into? We're shifting into the North node of Aries. Aries is the baby. It's the I am. It is the pioneer, the leader, okay? So it is first in this astrological game. I don't care who want to be first. You ain't. Aries is first, okay? Now, what comes along with that first energy is a lot of working on self, identity, okay? So this next 2 years, as we are shifting into this energy of North Node, Aries, and South Node, Libra, we're dealing with it from now until January 2025. So the next 2 years, okay? And it points to, again, destiny. So when we talk about, when I tell people, if you want to know how to get faster into what you came here to do, live in your North Node. Your North Node is what you should be living more of. I just so happen to be a North Node Virgo. Tell me about it. You understand me? So, and then, but have this South Node Pisces. I love Pisces. I love escaping. You know what I'm saying? I love every now and then give me, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever need to be done to escape, you know, with some food or, you know, whatever it is, whatever the vice is, let's do it so I can escape. Give me some shrooms. Let's go. Let's escape. Okay. But the North Node energy is about where you may have to put in more discipline and put more energy into it. Okay. So during this time period, when we're talking about Aries and Libra, we're talking about the cosmic lovers, the cosmic relationships, okay? The cosmic relationships are dealing with self and also dealing with other people or our partners, okay? So we're talking about the rising sign, or we're talking about the first house, and we're talking about identity, right? So we're talking about you going through an overhaul of your identity, of what this energy looks like, okay? Embracing your own self more, what you look like, what you feel like, as well as how you sometimes may tend to overcompromise, okay? Or may represent an energy of where you feel like I'm not in a relationship, so I'm not as important. I feel like I'm not drawing nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or where is my person? What's going on with my person? Well, what's going on with you? Okay. And how you take care of you. What is this energy doing? Because whatever it is, you're not spending enough time into yourself. Because if you were spending time into yourself, it is a proven fact that we find happiness through other people or happiness through partners when you first find happiness through yourself. What I mean is the chances of you drawing a relationship that is more in alignment to you, you have a higher chance of drawing that in when you're not looking. When you don't care to worry about having a partner or a counterpart, that's when they come in. That's because the universe knows when you're serious or not. Because sometimes we act as if we are okay by ourselves or being single, or we're okay with whatever the dynamic is. But in reality, we are secretly crying, or we're secretly feeling like there's something wrong with us. Okay. So when it comes down to us operating this axis over the next 2 years, it's all about relationship energy, and it's about relationship karma. So some of this stuff you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go what your partners did to you, or let go of the energy of feeling like you don't want to allow yourself to trust anymore because of what happened to you. Okay. You have to be willing to embrace the energy, embrace your desires, embrace what you want, and also pioneer and lead into that. Okay. So if you want to have a partner that is a little bit more physically fit, you got to go to the gym. If you want a partner that communicates a lot better, then you have to learn how to communicate better and learn how to be a better listener. Okay. If you want a partner who go on long walks with you, then you have to go on long walks with yourself. You want a partner that cook, you need to be more of a cook, or at least watching cooking shows. At least know what ingredients go together. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself in the energy of that. So understand that this node of destiny that we're dealing with for the next 2 years has everything to do with our relationship energy and our relationship karma. Okay. So you got to be willing to date yourself. If you're not already dating yourself and you are single, you need to start, because we move into this energy on July 17th. So we'll have another conversation about it. This is just a brief conversation about the nodes changing. But you're going to start to feel it already. You're going to start to feel that pull, that tug of war between, especially if you're single, you're going to feel that tug of war between being by yourself and thinking about old exes, right? Thinking about, you know, well, maybe me and this person can be good together, or maybe did I judge them or misjudge them wrong? A lot of the energy within you is going to start to turn when it comes down to relationship, as well as the relationship energy that you're used to. So your parental energy that you learned, right? The people who are around you that teach you about relationship, all this stuff is going to start to come up. Right? Because now you're willing to not compromise. I don't necessarily like that word of compromise, but you're willing to find a balance between what you need and what you desire, and what you're also willing to contribute, where you're willing to not give up, or what you're willing to bring to the table as something that you're willing to, you know, have a give and take on. Relationship agreements, if you guys have been with me for at least the last year and a half, you have a relationship agreement. I need you to go and amend it. So if you have a partner, go and amend your relationship, because it's changing. Your partner is not the same person that was when you did that relationship agreement. Do a new one. Revamp the relationship agreement, But you need to first do one with yourself. What is the new relationship goals for your life now? Especially since you living in luxury, especially since you got all that bank, you got all that money. Jupiter and Taurus came through and dropped the load on you. So now since you got all this energy, what type of relationship life do you see yourself having now within your partners? Okay. So wherever you have Aries and Libra, and we just talked about this last month, when we talked about the Aries solar eclipse and we talked about the Libra full moon, I talked to y'all and told y'all that we're getting ready to have another eclipse, solar eclipse in Libra in October. All of that, the solar eclipse we just had in Aries, the solar eclipse we're going to have in Libra has everything to do with this axis right here. Okay. Everything to do with your north node and your south node of Aries and Libra. Study your placements. So if you want to know what you need to be studying the most of, you need to be studying most of your Taurus Scorpio axis and a lot of your Aries Libra axis. Okay. That is your homework from now until the next 6 months, especially in dealing with these nodes. But when it comes down to your Jupiter expansion and this Taurus energy, it is the best it's going to get for a minute. Because once Jupiter shifts into Gemini, it's going to be a whole different conversation. It's going to be all intellectual. When it shifts into Cancer, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be all dealing with some other stuff, dealing with some watery vibration and self-care, but it's not going to be dealing with the grounding of your luxury. That's right now. Okay? Y'all got it? Any questions? Let me see what y'all saying down here. I love this, and it's confirmation that you got to get. Yes, you do. Where do we find our north node again? Your north node or your south node should be on, let me see where it is on time passages. I know in your Cafe Astrology chart on your screenshot is on there for sure. It's on the bottom part of that. So if you have your Cafe Astrology chart, on chart aspects. It has to be. All right. So Cafe Astrology, not Cafe Astrology, time passages. When you're on your time passages app, it's going to say in node is what it's going to say. Okay. So I told y'all my north node is in Virgo. Yes. Time passages on there. All right. Any questions? Anything? Any questions about anything we said? So do y'all know what y'all are? Do you know how to access your Jupiter and Taurus energy? Do you know how to access the money and the energy that you're going to be pulling in between now and May of 2024? Yes. Ken, did you put North Node in Capricorn? Is that your question? Candace?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
That's your question?
Yeah, because
okay.
I don't know what it means.
Okay. So North Node is what you need to be more of. Okay. So meaning you are, what's your sun sign? Remind me.
Libra. I'm a Libra.
So throw Libra out the door. You are no longer Libra. You are
what?
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. This is what North Node wants you to do. You are no longer a Libra, okay? You are now a Capricorn. Do you know what that means?
No.
Capricorn is the bank. Capricorn rules the bank. So if you want to know who operates most of the money on this planet, Capricorns.
Okay, I want to know now.
Capricorn is the CEO. Capricorn is the boss. Okay? Capricorn is the going to always have the accounting, but Capricorn is also extremely disciplined. We call it the drill sergeant of the zodiac. Okay? So when you go to boot camp for 6 weeks, the person who is training and teaching, that's Capricorn. The one who waking you up at 5 a.m., 4:30, that's Capricorn. Okay? Why? Because it knows that the more that it does that, it's going to get the money. Capricorn wants one thing and one thing only, the money. Okay? That's it.
How do you tap into that? Because that is so opposite. That Capricorn is opposite of what I lean more into, which is Libra, because I'm very
I have North Node in
reserved.
Capricorn too, honey.
You do too? Okay.
And
And I'm
it is
like very
very difficult.
reserved.
You
It is.
asked
It's
how to
like
do it.
I'm freaking
No.
out.
You
I'm
asked how to
like,
do it.
yeah.
You asked how to do it. Let me tell you what Gigi gonna tell you. First of all,
yeah, there you go.
She gonna make you cut off all distractions, because if it ain't about the money or help getting you to the money, or you ain't messing with people that got value, they don't need to be in your life, period. What they doing for you? It sound greedy, but that's what she gonna make you ask. If they don't add no value, she don't got no broke friends. Capricorn ain't got no broke friends. None. Ain't no donations, ain't no more helping folks out, ain't no more handouts, period. How did you earn your value here? That's also because you're going to give a whole bunch of value. Only way you can give value is if you have discipline of your goddamn self, which means you needs to be going to the gym, because broke people, the only ones that's out of shape. Rich people don't be out of shape. And then you got to balance and try new things. Like, it's just so disciplined, girl. Just think about doing your taxes all year round. That's what it's really like.
Oh my God.
And no complaining about it. You get 5 minutes and 10 if you knew. But she switched mine. I only get like 5 minutes now to complain. And then it's like, okay, so how you gonna get some more money to wipe them tears? Good luck. You got it.
You said
She get 5.5. That's all she gets. She used to get 10. She don't get that no more because I ain't got time for that. And you don't got time for that either. So understand that the Libra part of you is used to sacrificing all of your time for other people. That's That's not Capricorn North Node though. And Eric, I saw you say Capricorn North Node too. You have to understand that Capricorn is the structure and the discipline. That's what it is. If it ain't structure and it ain't discipline, it ain't bringing no money, why am I there? The Capricorn is gone. If it ain't got them 3 elements, discipline, some type of revenue, the only time you'll find a Capricorn in a space where there is no discipline or lacking is with family. That's the only patience that they have. If it's family, okay, because I'm going to help my family to get disciplined. But I'm not doing this with my friends. I'm not doing this for no job. I'm not doing this for the world. I'm not doing it. Why? Because I know if I put the work in, then I know I'm going to boss this. That's why I say Capricorn is the boss. So you got to step into being the boss. That's it. And everything that Samaya just said, because it's absolutely 1000% true. Yes, you can't be, what you been around broke folks for? What the purpose of that? What you need that for? That's not money. Okay. When the last time you sat down and did a financial report for yourself every month? How much money are you coming in and going out? How much money are you spending frivolously? I know you haven't, because that Libra ain't doing it. But that Capricorn, I can call my mama right now. My mama's a Capricorn. I can call her right now and ask her how much money she has used or spent or loaned in this last 30 days. And baby, I guarantee you, she can run it down to me right now without having to say, hold on, pause. She has it right there to tell you, because again, Capricorns rule the bank. They rule the accounting. That's why we file our taxes at the beginning of the year of Capricorn season. So you just got to start doing more Capricorn things. How do you start doing more Capricorn things? First off, you need to have some type of financial accounting app. You need to get the Mint app or something that allows you to see where your money is going, okay? Writing down how you're using your money. How's it coming in and going out? That's the first thing to do, is get very smart and have a better relationship with money. And then it's to start to move into business for yourself, doing something that makes, even if it's just a side hustle, a side income, it don't matter. But allowing yourself to be the boss of something, because that's going to, again, have that Capricorn stirred up. All the Capricorn North Nodes I know work for themselves, because Capricorn is one of them placements that, again, it could be very difficult to work for other people because everybody there knows that you are big. They know that you are the boss. They know it. So they will put you out. So the universe will do that to you too. Okay? So all my North Node Capricorns, this is money for you. This is a money year. Lean more into that. Lean more into being a Capricorn. Okay? And if, again, like I was telling, who was I talking to earlier? She may be gone now. Who was there? Alicia, I think it was. Yes, Alicia was on here earlier. one thing that I told her, you have to learn how to lean more into these placements, right? And leaning more to these placements can also mean friending people, right? That has these aspects. If you don't have no Capricorn friends, that's okay. You need to get some. But if you don't have Capricorn people that you follow, start following some Capricorn people. If you say, well, Gigi, how am I going to find out that they Capricorn? How about this? Start following people who do accounting. People who do money stuff, that talk about money stuff all day. I guarantee you they have a lot of high placements in Capricorn. Okay? You got me now? You know what we're doing now, Candace?
Yes. Copy that. I got it.
Good. My best friend's a Capricorn, and he stayed on me. Our entire relationship is work, and I love him. Exactly. Come on. Does John know what's up? He know what it is. Because in Capricorn, trust me, I came from one. So she keeps me on it. It's a weekly thing, dealing with money, okay? But I'm also building trust and estates with my mom. So it's a lot of different things, her being the accountant. My mother is an accountant. Do y'all hear this? You hear what you said about Capricorn? She got to follow the money. Not only is she an accountant, she is a Capricorn sun, Gemini moon, Scorpio rising, baby. So that's another placement. The Scorpios want the money too. So come on, bring me the money. Where is it? Okay. Lean more into that. And I promise you start to lean more in your North Node, it's going to make life easier and it's going to make you happier. All right. Good. Any more questions? Going once. Going.
So I'm focused on education and gathering information.
For the Jupiter and Taurus?
Yeah.
Yes. And you just focus on just being the prince and the king.
I hear you.
Just draw it. It's already there. Hold your hand out. Y'all owe me something. It's my time. It's like knowing that the IRS owe you, some money. And you like, okay, well, any day now is where is it at? Oh, it's here. Boom. Great. Time for me to go and do what I need to do with it. Okay. Now, as this money is starting to come in, don't be frivolous because Taurus can be frivolous. It can be.
Yeah, I read that.
Do that. I'm just gonna go eat up some things. Let me go take a nap. No, you also have things that you need to acquire with this because this is also you putting into the habit of making sure that this is residual income from you. And this is for all of y'all. So whatever money y'all make within this next year, don't just blow it, okay? Take this money and make it residual for you. So investments, okay? Making sure that you find something that you can invest in that you love, that you don't mind studying and doing those things, okay? So if crypto is your thing, definitely crypto is going to jump back up again. I can promise you that, okay? So crypto will be a good investment. Real estate investment. If you are a person that loves real estate or just been thinking about getting into real estate, now is the time to get in and do stuff like buy land. You don't have to necessarily buy a house. You can buy small plots of land, and that can be an asset, meaning that it's going to mature. It's not going to depreciate, right? That land is whatever you buy it at, it's at that value until you sell it for lower than that. So there's a lot of different things I want you guys to be looking at as far as financial investment is concerned, because whatever you do take this money and take these opportunities to do with, it's going to allow you to eat for the next 5 or 10 years based on what you do with it. Okay?
And call me for your land purchase.
Yes. Andrea got you on that. Now, do you do all states or just Georgia?
Just Georgia.
Okay. But we can still
But I can make it happen in other states though.
Okay, great. So now you got a real estate / photographer over here. Okay. You're trying to sell some land too, sell a house right there. She got you. Okay. And she don't mind traveling because we in Jupiter and Taurus energy and it's going to have us traveling anyway. Okay. So she will travel. All right. So any other questions? Going once, going twice. And we're done. Thank you guys for coming to class. Candace says she in Georgia too. Do you do real estate too?
Good night, Gigi.
Bye. I love you. I'll see you next week.
All right, love you.
I'll be in Atlanta next week, guys. I have some work to do. So for those of you that are in Atlanta, come and play with me. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be kinked up stuff that we're going to do, but come have some fun with me. All right. Yes. Thank you for coming to class. It was so nice meeting you. And I hope to see you for our next class.
Yes. For sure.
All right. You're welcome, Taju. All right, Candace, girl, I'll be in Atlanta next week. Thank you, Erica. All right, Dre, what you got going on next weekend? I'm going to be there.
Nothing. I
Great.
don't have anything. I'm not traveling or nothing. So let me know when you get here.
Boom. And there it is. All right, Jamaica. I'll see you soon, my love.
Bye. Thanks.
Taju?
You know, we don't want to sign off.
Hey,
I never want to sign off. Y'all be on here till I'm on here. Taju, I'll be there next week.
I'm in New York right now.
You gonna be
next week?
Next week.
Oh, yeah.
Next week. Thank you, Sherry. All right, guys. I'm gonna hang up on y'all now.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Love
See
you.
y'all later.
Love y'all too. Bye.